and welcome to New Mexico Rising. My name is Dan, and yes, I'm that guy who interviews random people from all across the country, celebrities and whatnot. If you want to be on the show, all you got to do is email me. Email's on the screen. It is newmexicorising@gmail.com. I'll invite you into the red room here, or we could go to your place and hang out and talk about your business, your events, whatever you'd like, and I'll bring you right on this TV show. That's what we're here for. It's fun. A little later on the show, I'll have Ovie Mughelli, a former football player, talk about how you could throw the perfect football game party. No, I do not want to say the words because the big corporate football company would sue me, and I don't have any money to pay them anything, so I'm not going to say it, all right? But we do have tips on how to have the perfect football game party with Ovie Mughelli. It's kind of cool. Also, a little later, Claudia Lombana, she is going to give us the perfect gift suggestions for your loved ones on Valentine's Day. And I'm excited for this one. Charmaine Bingwa, it's an honor to have her on my show. We're going to be talking about Emancipation and the 5 awards that has been nominated for from the NAACP Awards on BET on the 25th. So congratulations to them. This is all happening today on the cool show I like to throw together called New Mexico Rising. Welcome to the show, guys. Is it ethical? Is it smart? Or how would you feel if you had the chance to shut off your brain for the 8 hours that you're at work and then go back to home and forget everything that happened at work? Well, that's what's happening in the new TV series on Apple TV Plus called Severance. And today we have Tramell Tillman here to talk a little bit about his role in that show. Because, you know, last week we had Adam Scott on the show. He talked about it a bit. But Tramell, thank you for being part of the show today.
Well, thank you. Good morning. Glad to be here.
All right, I gave a really bad synopsis of the show. Can you do a better one?
I mean, I thought it was pretty spot on. You did good, Dan. Well, you know, the show focuses on a company called Lumen that changes the way they do business by presenting a strictly volunteer program where you could separate your work life from your personal life. So you would undergo a procedure, they put a chip in your head, and when you enter the severed floor of the Lumen building, you become your workie, or your innie, I should say. And you work there for 8 hours, and then once you leave the severed floor, the chip deactivates, and then you are your outie, if you will. So the innie never knows the life of the outie, and the outie never knows the life of the innie.
That's really an interesting concept because for some jobs that I've had in my life, I think that sounds like an absolutely awesome idea, but
I get it, because I've been there. I've had some of those jobs where I was like, can you just send someone else or just let the hours go quickly?
Absolutely. And I've heard that you have been kind of excited about this new position because this is kind of the first time that you're stepping into a bigger role in television. And it's been kind of a culture shock starting to realize that you're one of the main characters in a TV show. Can you tell me about your experience, like going from, yes, Broadway and some smaller roles, but now finally landing a first-time, full-time, big job in a series? What's that like?
It's totally, like, I can't even explain it. It's surreal, it's exciting, it's a dream come true. You know, pounding the pavement in New York and LA and all over the country, and then being able to come here and work with these fantastic actors, this fantastic director, Ben Stiller, and this wonderful team has been absolute blast. And, you know, my whole thing is, you know, make sure you honor it. You know, don't make the writer regret that, you know, you were part of this show. And so far, it's been an absolute joy to be able to craft this character and to see how many people have responded to Milchick viscerally, you know.
Yeah, and actually, speaking of, working with Ben Stiller, I ran into him and Adam Scott a couple weeks ago over at the Critics' Choice Awards.
Nice.
The thing is what's it like working with Ben Stiller? Did you have like preconceived notion of it being more comedy, and then when you guys work on such a really intense but yet subtly comedic sci-fi thriller, how is that working with him?
Well, I really thought that this set would be bananas, right? Because he does so many comedic productions, but he's very sharp, he's very serious, he's very exacting, but also very collaborative as well. He's always asking us questions about the character. He wants us to be able to talk about the show with each other, to be able to find out what this world is. And our very first season, we were shooting through the height of COVID and trying to figure out what is this show and what is the story, what's the tone, if you will. And so Dan Erickson, the show creator, our showrunner, Mark Friedman, and Ben have all been really instrumental for us to find that road in. So I'm really grateful that Ben has been, the leader at the helm, guiding us through all of this.
And you guys were shooting through the height of COVID, and it doesn't really look like it, though some of the scenes are very sparse with people. How was it working through some of the protocols in that? Because some movies, you could tell, oh yeah, these two actors aren't even in the same room. This wasn't even shot on the same day. I don't even know if they're even standing on the same whatever. But yeah, how was it working on that?
Well, it was really all hands on deck. Our health and safety team were really on the front lines, making sure that they established protocol so that we stayed safe. The network was following protocol as well. Our producers made sure that we were safe. We were, separated when we needed to be. We tested all the time. We really wanted to make sure that we weren't putting each other in danger. And there were times, because when we were filming, this was before the vaccine came out. So we would walk around with masks, and there's still members of the crew. I have no idea what they look like because we still wear our masks on set. So this was a true exercise in trust and patience and communication. And I am in awe of what blossomed.
Well, thank you, Tramell, for hanging out with me this morning. And definitely check out Severance. It's a show that I absolutely love. It's dark, it's creepy, it's funny, and it has a lot of cool sci-fi insight. So definitely check it out. It's available now on Apple TV+. Thank you for joining me, Tramell.
Thank you. My pleasure.
So sometimes you go to work each and every day. Wouldn't it be nice to just kind of forget everything that happens for at least the 8 hours that you're there and then go home and just kind of live your life? Well, that may not actually be a good thing. In the new TV series, Severance, it's all about that. And today we have Adam Scott with us to tell us about the new show that's available on Apple TV+. How are you, Adam?
Good. How you doing, Dan?
Doing fabulous. So, hey, I've checked out your new series. It's a great show. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, it takes place in a world where there's a technology. You can get a chip inserted in your brain, so your work life and your home life are completely separate. You don't know what you do at work when you're out in the world, and then when you're at work, you have no idea who you are out in the world. So you have two separate lives that you live, and it kind of goes from there. And this big company, Lumen, that invented the technology and uses it on their workers is where the show takes place.
I'm absolutely captivated by the show already. It's just so eerie.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, it's so eerie. It's so weird. It has like dark moments and still kind of funny moments in it. Can you kind of tell us, like when working on the show, what are some of the things that you guys kind of work through to try to create that feeling and experience for us viewers at home?
Yeah, I mean, starting a show from scratch is always challenging because you have to find the tone. You have to figure everything out as you're going, as you're making it. And, while we were making the show, we had no idea if it was going to work or not. And we all felt like, this is really fun and special and unique, but it's really weird. Like, is anyone going to watch this? So the fact that it did connect when it came out and people are into it and critics really liked it, it's just all, we're all just so grateful and so happy that, that it's connected as much as it has.
I think the reason why it's connecting is because a lot of us do go to that 9-to-5 job, and we find ourselves we find ourselves a little kind of loving moments, but hating moments. But this movie or this show really kind of shows that there are the times that you have fun with your coworkers, and it seems okay, and then it just has that awkward feeling of like, hey, yeah, it is work. We do have to do this. So it kind of reflects at home, despite being such a high sci-fi drama.
Yeah, and I think also the pandemic really, pushed people to re-examine work and their relationship to it, and so that I think that resonated with people as well.
Yeah, the more I watch the show, the more I want to go back into my office and just be frustrated.
Yeah.
I really loved your performance in Severance.
Thanks, Dan.
And all of the good work you did. So congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Good
Appreciate
work.
that.
You're welcome, man. All right, check out Severance. It's available now on Apple TV+. Adam Scott, thank you for joining me this morning.
Thanks, Dan.
And coming up next, Valentine's gifts for the ones that you love. Claudia Lombana is here to chat with us and tell us how to show our loved ones the best way to show them that we love them, all right? That's what we're here for. Love, right here on New Mexico Rising. And coming up later, we have Charmaine Bingwa from Emancipation. We'll be chatting with her right here. Valentine's Day, the goal is to come up with special gifts that show love and appreciation to those that we love and appreciate. So here with some timely suggestions is shopping expert and journalist Claudia Lombana. You know, Claudia is an Emmy and Peabody Award-winning journalist who regularly analyzes shopping trends for network TV and hangs out with weirdos like me. So welcome to the show, Claudia Lombana. How are you?
Hi, I'm happy to be here, Dan. Thanks for having me on.
All right, what is a guiding philosophy for choosing the perfect Valentine's Day gift?
Well, you talked about like the people that we appreciate and the people that are special. And I think when you're choosing gifts for them, it should be a gift that's chosen with sincerity and with some intention. So I think going into it, thinking about it that way is a great idea. We're going to see consumers spend $26 billion this Valentine's. That's about $193 per person. So putting some thought into those gifts, I think, is always a good way to go.
All right, let's start with something easy. Any suggestions for the pets that we love?
Yes, and I'm super excited about this because I just got a puppy, adopted a baby girl. Her name is Frankie, so she's going to be getting some special treats from Stella and Chewy's. Now, Stella and Chewy's is the leader in raw pet food. Their freeze-dried raw offerings include treats, meals, meal toppers, and it really makes it easier than ever to feed our pets raw, as nature intended. They are packed with protein. They come in different flavors: beef, lamb, chicken, and of course our feline friends get the same treats and meal options from Stella and Chewy's. A great way to add some love for our four-legged friends this Valentine's at stellaandchewys.com.
So what is a traditional gift that is always a hit?
Candy and chocolate, always a hit and always #1 as the top seller for Valentine's Day. My go-to is Lindt and their Lindor chocolate truffles. Just in time for Valentine's Day, we have their seasonal limited edition flavors, including strawberries and cream white chocolate and dark strawberry chocolate. Their truffles are, I mean, they melt in your mouth. They're so indulgent and so delicious. They, of course, come in this beautiful Valentine's packaging, available at lintusa.com or retailers all over the place.
What about a unique gift for Valentine's Day?
This year we're talking about a unique gift in the form of Rosetta Stone's gift of learning a new language. Now, Rosetta Stone's app has been rated #1 for language learning apps by CNN. This is a great gift for that special someone who really values experiences, a great way to connect when you're traveling or to maybe communicate with loved ones who speak other languages. They offer 25 languages with the Rosetta Stone app, and right now Rosetta Stone is offering a lifetime unlimited languages subscription that's 40% off between February 8th and the 14th. So a great deal if you are interested in Rosetta Stone and one of their 25 languages. A super cool and unique gift there.
Are there any other suggestions you have for celebrating Valentine's Day?
Last thing I want to mention is wellness, because we should be caring about those and ourselves. So when it comes to wellness, I am loving the new line from True You. Now, this is True You's first foray into the beauty and body care product industry. These are unique, gorgeous products that are clean crafted, really catering to the unique needs of women and their skin. It helps hydrate, brighten the appearance of skin with collagen, peptides, hyaluronic acid. It has a proprietary formula called the Core 5 Complex, available exclusively at the Vitamin Shop or at vitaminshop.com.
Finally, where can we go for more information, or what should I do for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, you can head over to tipsontv.com.
Okay, I guess I'll just go to that website for Valentine's Day. Thanks for joining us, Claudia.
Awesome. Love it. Happy Valentine's Day.
So the big game is coming, which means it's time to start prepping for a super watch party. And here to help is former All-Pro NFL fullback Ovie Mughelli with his favorite ideas for creating a memorable game day experience. Ovie is a former All-Pro fullback for the Atlanta Falcons and Baltimore Ravens and a former network TV football analyst. Welcome to the show, Ovie.
Oh, man, it's good to be here, Dan. Thanks for having me.
All right, what are some of the innovations for big game party planning?
Well, you know what? Being NFL fullback for almost 10 years, like you mentioned, being All-Pro twice, I had to keep on reinventing myself and find ways to innovate my game, my training, all that stuff. You can't stay stagnant. Same thing with your tailgating party. You can't stay stagnant. You got to find new ways to always improve, and I'm here to help you do that.
What's something new to wow our big game party guests?
Well, you got to have something for everybody. For me, that's BioLife. I love BioLife because they're a dairy-free cheese alternative that is perfect for creating recipes everyone can enjoy. BioLife products offer a one-to-one swap in any dish and are plant-based, gluten-free, preservative-free, and non-GMO. To celebrate the big game, they have created a limited edition cheese stadium complete with all the dairy-free cheeses needed to create a delicious recipe like these mouth-watering mac and cheese bites that you're absolutely going to love.
All right, so what snacks should be part of every game day party?
Well, you know, Ovie goes third person when I talk about snacks. Ovie loves snacks. If you want great snacks and amazing dips like chunky guac or avocado salsa or plant-based buffalo dip, you've got to go to Good Foods. Their dips are made with delicious, simple ingredients and are free of preservatives and artificial flavors for the best quality and taste. To stock up on game day, you can find Good Foods at national retailers like Target and Costco, grocery stores like Kroger and Publix, or you can just order online at goodfoods.com.
Do you have any time-saving game day tips?
Absolutely. You got to let the pros be the pros sometime. You know, sometimes you need something a little bit pre-made. And Carl's Jr. and Hardee's, they're pros at the pre-made. And I have them at my big game parties because they're known for their impossible-to-ignore flavors, their high-quality food innovations, and their craveable options like charboiled burgers to hand-breaded chicken lineup. These restaurants bring the big flavor to the big game. If you're looking to truly make your game day hosting easier, Carl's Jr. and Hardee's have got you covered.
All right, please recommend some unique big game beverages for the menu.
A lot of the good food out here, you got to have some good drink. I love lots of drinks out there, but none like Lipton Iced Tea. They're an official iced tea sponsor of Super Bowl 57. Lipton adds crisp and refreshing flavors combined with better-for-you ingredients, perfect to share at your game day party. Now, I love flavor-packed Lipton Green Tea, which has 100% of your daily dose of antioxidants and vitamin C, or you can try Lipton Immune Support with pineapple mango flavor. There's literally a bottle for everyone at your party.
All right, for the big game, who are you rooting for?
Go Eagles.
All right, well, there you go. All right, where can we go for more information?
For more information, go to tipsontv.com.
All right, thanks for joining us, Ovie.
Yes, sir.
And coming up next, we have one of the nicest serial killers there is. Well, because he's not a serial killer, he's an actor and plays one. Paul Walter Hauser, yes, he's talking about his new series, Blackbird. And a little later, Charmaine Bingwa from Emancipation. Happy to have her on the show.
Do you want to have the best time of your entire life? ABQ Golf and Games is here for you. We guarantee more high fives and thumbs up than any other arcade you've ever been to. Impress your puppet friends. At Wantabou, just north of Lomas. Pay to get in and play all day. No cards to refill, coins needed, or hidden charges. You can even book ABQ Golf and Games for your next birthday, corporate party, wedding, divorce, or funeral. We'll bring the arcade to you. Visit ABQ Golf and Games or give us a call at 505-709-8581.
Getting into the mind of a serial killer would be a very difficult job to do, especially when you actually have to play a serial killer for a new TV series on Apple TV+. But today, we actually have actor and comedian Paul Walter Hauser hanging out with me. Paul, how are you doing, bud?
I'm doing well, Dan. How's everything on your neck of the woods?
So far, it's going okay. And that's what I got today. At least I'm not going to jail for 10 years and have to hang out with a serial killer to try to get, like, out of jail a little easier.
You know, you're right. It could always be worse, right?
Yeah, it's just above that. I think that's where base level of my life is just above that. So thank you for that. You got a new series on Apple TV Plus. It's called Blackbird, and you're playing a serial killer, and it's based on some true events. This sounds insane.
Yeah, Blackbird is about. It's based on a true story. Of course, this guy Jimmy Keene got locked up for 10 years for weapons charges and drugs and all these things. He goes away for 10 years, but he's given the opportunity to shave off the rest of his sentence and be a free man if he goes undercover in a maximum security prison to befriend a serial killer and get a forced confession out of him.
And you've played some really notorious characters like Richard Jewell, and you're busting caps in I, Tonya. How did you get into like the mind of people like this?
You know what? I think I just look like some of those guys. I don't, they're not going to go to Ryan Gosling for some of these psycho, unhealthy character dudes. So they come to me. But the way I get in the mindset is just being really, really specific. Great acting for me. I've always judged it by specificity and commitment and a lack of vanity. Because who wants to be seen as ugly or deplorable or scary by the masses? But there's something really honest about it, because there are really disgusting, horrible people that are doing so covertly, and they live in plain sight pretending to be good people. So I kind of switch it and get to try to live my life as a good guy, but play these odious weirdos.
Yeah, and for this one, you're jumping into the mind of a serial killer that has some true stories back there. How did you feel like doing that?
I just approach it like I would any other role. You try to humanize the person and figure out what it is that they want, how they may have become who they became. And then you have to commit to the things that aren't, I can look at Larry Hall and say, I understand what it means to be lonely. I understand what it means to be, to feel marginalized socially. But then the things you can't relate to, like the desire to hurt young women, you just have to commit to it as if it is true. And that's sort of what acting is. It's lying, it's pretending, it's, you tell me to be a kangaroo, I don't normally hunch my back and hop around and add weight to my front belly. But if you're telling me I got to play a kangaroo, I'm going to commit to it. You know what I mean?
All right, well, there you go. Commit to the bit. Paul Walter Hauser, thanks for hanging out with me this morning. Check out his new series, Blackbird. It's available to watch right now on Apple TV+. Thank you very much, bud.
Thanks, bud.
Welcome back to New Mexico Rising. I am honored to have our next guest from the movie Emancipation. Yes, it has been nominated for five NAACP awards. And it's an honor to have Charmaine Bingwa here on the show today. Welcome to the show, Charmaine. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. Thanks so much, Dan. Good to be here.
So it looks like you guys have Best Motion Picture, Best Ensemble Cast in Motion Picture, Best Actor in a Motion Picture, Directing in a Motion Picture, and Best Outstanding Costume Design. Congratulations. That's a ton of awards.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we really put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this one, so it's nice that it's been seen in this way.
So working on this movie, what were some of the things that you had to come think about when getting into it? I know working with Will Smith and trying to get into the mindset of things that were happening a long time ago. How do you get into those type of roles?
Yeah, I think you just have to approach it from every angle. You need to make sure you know the historical period. You need to make sure you're emotionally prepared. You're prepared with your scene partner, and and just making sure that you're telling the right story. I mean, it was such a beautiful script. Wanted to honor that, and also, I personally did a lot of research into enslaved narratives to make sure that their experiences were being told and shown on screen.
When you're giving so much honor to some of the people of the past that you're trying to reflect the lives of that have, how does that feel?
Yeah, it makes you really proud. I love my job at the best of times, but when it really connects with your heart, it's just like the greatest privilege on earth. And, I feel even privileged to know these people's stories. To me, they're some of the bravest people to walk the earth, and, they deserve to be honored. It's so amazing what their presence and time on this planet has given all of us.
And it really kind of opens our eyes to some of the horrible things that people have done in the past, but it also shows some of the bravery and heartwarming moments of the people that had to live through this. Can you tell me your experience of like having to step into those shoes and try to show people's lives?
Yeah, and I think that is the story. The story is the bravery. The story is the ability for one man to take on an entire system. The story is like always persevere and never lose hope. And, you know, and it's also like a cautionary tale, you know, there's a lot more hateful ideologies and divisiveness creeping in our times. And I think it's just a reminder that, you know, love and freedom always, and we never want to revisit those times again.
That's very, very true. But we also have to learn from all of our mistakes in the past. So at least telling the stories of those that lived through it needs to be done, because we don't want those stories to just disappear to history.
Absolutely. You know, and Antoine and I often speak of this film in the way that it's a love letter to our ancestors. You know, we just want to thank them. We want to honor them. And it's our way to say that we respect their contributions across space and time.
Well, thank you for joining me this morning, Charmaine.
My absolute pleasure, Dan. Thank you.
That is Charmaine Bingwa from Emancipation, and congratulations on all those nominations. Hopefully, you're going to walk away with everything. That's all I'm going to say, is that you and your team are fabulous, and you're going to walk away with it all.
Appreciate you, Dan. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining me this morning.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
All right, and that is it for today's show. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me this morning. If you like the show, please send me an email, newmexicorising@gmail.com. Tell me if you like it, what you're liking about it. If you hate it, also send me an email, because it might be funny to read those on the air. You can't stop me, all right? Yeah, if you want to be part of the show, send me an email. I'll bring you into the Red Room. We can sit down, hang out, and talk about your businesses, events, whatever is going on. But here it is, the what to do before the news. Albuquerque Public Schools is doing a clothing drive. They're calling it Show You Care with Underwear. And they are looking for new packaged pairs of underwear. Please, new and packaged. They don't want any of your used stuff. Keep that for yourself, all right? Yes, drop off any new and packaged pairs of underwear to any of the New Mexico APS Clothing Bank drop boxes. They have them available. There's a big one outside of the APS main building, or you can take it to the APS Clothing Bank itself, or we're putting 2 QR codes on the screen. One of them, if you scan it right now, I'm giving you plenty of time with your phone. Go grab your phone, scan it. One of them is the Amazon wish list that you could actually purchase underwear right there and send it right away to the APS Clothing Bank. And the other one, if you want to make a monetary donation to the APS Foundation, please scan the other QR code and send some money their way. So I'm leaving those QR codes on the screen for a couple of seconds, so they grab your phone, scan both of them, save them in your phone. Please make a donation to the APS Clothing Bank, because there are kids out there that absolutely need your help, and APS can't do it all by themselves. So if you could help them out as much as possible, it's a wonderful thing for them. Help out some kids. That's it for New Mexico Rising. Thanks for being part of the show. Until next week, we are New Mexico Rising, that show that's right here on KRQE, right before the news, and hopefully you're watching it.